everybody? You're tuned into another episode of the Flea Flicker Show. We are your hosts, Fred and Dre. We drop new episodes every Wednesday and Friday in the NFL season. At least we try to. Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on social media at Flea Flicker Show. Dre, tell them what we got coming up.
Dude, it's the last week of the season. This is the Week 18 preview pod, baby. We are going to go over every game in Week 18, tell you who's going to win, who's going to lose, and we are going to be 100% right. Yeah. Before that, we're going to go over the playoff clinching scenarios too, which this is it, baby. It's getting down to the wire. They're either going to be in or they're going to be out. And we've got quite a few teams that are still fighting for it. So we're going to get into it all and tell you what's going on. And it should be a fun episode.
Yeah, should be a good one. And hopefully we don't go too long on talking college football and Hall of Fame stuff this time. So let's get into it.
Yeah. Real quick, I am 151 and 105 on the season. Fred, you are right behind me at 149 and 107. All you need is 2 games, and we could be tied ending the regular season. That's insane.
That'd be wild. Go through 18 weeks and we're tied.
It's shocking that we're this close. We're just either that good or that bad at picking together. I don't know.
Maybe a combination of both. I don't know.
Yeah.
We both have bad weeks. We both have good weeks. I mean, last week you didn't have a bad week. I just had a better one. So
neither of us have had a wait. No, I think you had a lose, didn't you?
I did have a losing one. I had 5 wins in 1 week. So
you won,
that's how I got really far back. So
yeah. But anyway, let's go over some playoff clinching scenarios, baby. I'm going to hit the Cowboys first, get them out of the way because we hate them. But the Cowboys clinched the division with a win. And if they do that, which they probably will because they're playing the Commanders, a bad Commanders team, this would be the 18th straight season that the NFC East has a different winner. That's crazy. That would be the biggest stretch of time in any of the 4 major sports that a different team in a division wins the division. The NFC East is wild.
The NFC East is crazy. It's a wild place. It's truly like the wild, wild west, but on the East Coast, except for Dallas. But yeah, it's wild.
Staying with the NFC East, the Eagles can win the division if they win against the Giants and if the Cowboys lose to the Commanders. Don't expect that to happen, but you never know, baby. Any given Sunday.
You never know. And I mean, who knows? It is week 18. You could see some of the Dallas Cowboys players sit. So if they sit anybody like Dak Prescott or anybody like that, it could happen. The Eagles have already said that they're probably going to sit some players. So
I doubt the Cowboys they want that. They want that division,
I mean, but now that they know if they know the Eagles are going to sit players and they think, I don't know.
I guess
it'll be interesting.
You're hoping for it. You're hoping for it.
I'm hoping for it. Yeah.
Bills versus Dolphins. The winner of the Bills and Dolphins wins the division and the number 2 seed. That's insane, first of all. So the Dolphins could be number 2 or number 6, I believe, because I think they'd be behind the Browns. Or the Bills could be the number 2, the number 6, or all the way out of the playoff if they lose. So it's just week 18 is crazy, man. It's crazy.
Crazy stuff in the NFL.
Yeah. The Bills need the Steelers or the Jaguars to lose. One of the two they need to lose. Bucks win the division if they beat the Panthers. Let's say that we expect that to happen probably. We'll see. We'll get into the games, but the Saints win the division if they win and the Bucks lose. The Falcons somehow still have a chance. They win the division if they win and the Bucks lose because they're playing the Saints. The Colts versus Texans, the winner is in, the loser is out. So that's already a playoff game pretty much right there. The Colts win the division if they win and the Jaguars lose. The Jaguars win the division if they win. The Steelers get into the playoffs if they win and the Bills or Jags lose. The Seahawks get into the playoffs if they win and the Packers lose. Packers get in the playoffs with a win. The Vikings still alive. They kind of have a crazy shot at getting. The Vikings need to win, plus the Packers need to lose, plus the Seahawks need to lose, plus the Buccaneers or the Saints need. So Seahawks fans, keep those fingers crossed, baby. You still got a chance.
Still got a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance, but basically from all of that, what I want to happen, I want to see 3. Well, these teams are already all in, but for this all to play out, I want to see the Rams versus the Lions in a playoff game. I want to see the Dolphins versus the Chiefs in a playoff game. So I want the Bills to lead. And I want to see the Browns versus the Ravens, which would have to be a divisional game, but I want to see the Browns versus the Ravens. Those are 3 matchups that I absolutely want to see in the play. Are there any that
you also want to see Dallas on the road. So you're also rooting for Dallas to potentially lose to the Commanders.
You're not wrong.
And you're weirdly probably kind of in the back of your mind rooting for the Eagles to beat your Giants if the Cowboys lose.
Hey, that means the Giants get a better draft pick too. So, I mean, are you wrong? All right. Are there any playoff matchups that you want to see specifically though?
Yeah, I want to see the Cowboys and Lions play in the playoffs again. I think it was a really good game last week, and I think the Cowboys should have lost. So I'd like to see that rematch, and I'd like to see it in Detroit.
Yeah, that'd be a fun game. I desperately want to see the Bills make the playoffs. For sure. I think they could literally be a Super Bowl team if they make it. So
I'd like to see Bills Chiefs play each other.
that'd be a fun
I think
rematch.
that'd be fun rematch. I don't know that it would happen because in order for it to happen, the Bills would have to win their division, and then they would have to both win a couple games. Happen. So.
Yeah, the Chiefs, I feel like I mean, I think we're both on the same page. They could easily be a one and done team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's the playoff talk, though. Let's get through these games, huh?
Yeah, let's jump into it.
There is a Saturday game. I mean, there's two Saturday games. I think they always do this every year. Two Saturday games to get them out of the way before all the Sunday games. But yeah, the first Saturday game at 4:30, we got the Steelers heading up to Baltimore. Heading over to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. These are all going to be division, so I'm not going to say divisional game. But this is kind of a tough one to pick because we don't know at the time of recording if the Ravens are going to be resting their starters. I don't know if you've heard anything, but
I have not. I would have to imagine they are, though. They clinched the number 1 seed already.
yeah.
So there's no incentive for them to play starters. I would have to imagine that they are benching them. Steelers are playing for positioning. So it is for that reason that I will pick this. I think that they're going to bench star players like Lamar Jackson, like some star defensive players there. They're probably going to end up benching one of their running backs. One of them always gets hurt. So I think Steelers are still playing for more. So I think I might go with Steelers in this.
Yeah, I'm surprisingly on the same agreement with you. I am picking the Steelers, but I will say if the Ravens play their starter, I'm definitely gonna pick the Ravens. So I will switch. I will leave it open to switch if the Ravens players play. But what if the Ravens play Lamar Jackson and the starters, but they take them out after like the first quarter or the first half?
That's what I was wondering. There's a lot that has to be looked into this because that very likely could happen. And they could go out by 2 scores in the first quarter and do nothing the rest of the game and give up 4 scores. But that could definitely happen. And I think I think there's gonna be a lot of caveats this week.
Yeah, I agree. But I'd
say starters have to play the majority of the game.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. And then we pick the Ravens if that happens. Otherwise, we're going to pick the Steelers. All right, cool.
And that's not like they play only the first half and not the second half. They have to play at least a little bit into the second half to get majority because then it's just 50-50 and not. Yeah.
So if they come out at halftime, we're picking the Steelers. Boom. All right. Yep. It'll be interesting to see what Tyler Huntley can do if he's playing too. Because I think the Ravens backups could have a chance.
They're good backups, honestly.
Yeah, but yeah, okay, cool. We're on the same page though. It'd be funny if Mason Rudolph just has a disaster game in this one. It's like 3 games is too many to give this guy. All right.
Well, it's like Jake Browning, right? Like Jake Browning was playing his ass off, and now he's terrible.
Yeah, it should be an interesting game though, for sure. Tough one to pick. Let's move to the 8 p.m. game in Indianapolis. The Texans versus the Colts. This is a playoff game. It's a playoff game. Playoff game of the year. Let's be honest about it. Winner takes all. Loser goes home. Should be a really good game. Both teams are going to give it everything they got. I think we're possibly, I know you like Minshew, so maybe not, but I think we're on the same page. I'm trusting Stroud and the Texans defense to pull this off and make the playoff.
Yeah, I do like Minshew, but I'm not going to go with him here. I just think the Texans are a better team. I think Stroud is the better quarterback. Their defense is playing well right now. The Colts are still giving up points. So I'm going to go with the Texans too.
There we go. So you could be only 1 game behind me heading into the Sunday games. Whoa. Or you could be 3 games back. That'd be bad.
Well, no, I can't be 1 game behind you. We took the same teams.
I picked the Texans. You picked the Colts.
No, I said Texans.
I thought you just said the Colts are the better team, so you're picking them.
I said Texans are the better team, so I'm picking them. I said I do like Minshew. And they are playing well, but the Colts defense hasn't done much. The Texans defense is performing well. Stroud is the better quarterback. I'm going to pick the Texans as well.
Very well. Very well. I somehow didn't hear that. When you're looking at the editing, go back and make sure, because I must be hearing it.
Yeah, I heard what you wanted to hear.
All right, so we're both picking the Texans then. Cool. All right, let's move to the Sunday games. First game of the 1 p.m. slate, In Carolina, the Buccaneers and the Panthers, there's no shot the Buccaneers are losing to the worst team in football to get knocked out of the playoffs. I'm definitely picking the Bucs.
No shot. Bucks are winning this game easy. Bryce Young is going to have a terrible game. Bucks are still playing for something, still playing for that positioning in the division to make the playoffs. So they're going to come out strong, and they're going to want to have a really good bounce back game after the loss last week.
Bam. We're still on the same page then. You're going to have to get 2 games where you go against me at least somewhere.
I know.
Next, we're heading to Cincinnati, the Browns and the Bengals. The Brownies have come out and said that they're resting their starters for this game already. So, I don't think the Browns look nearly as good with PJ Walker at the helm. So for that reason, I am going to go with the Bengals.
Yeah, this is a weird game. Because then the Bengals, too, are out of playoff contention. So they're not playing for anything. The Browns are resting starters. I'm going to split here. I'm going to go Browns.
It could still happen. I mean, the Browns still have a good defense, right? With their backups are still pretty solid.
Yeah, they still have a good defense. The Bengals likely aren't going to be doing much. I mean, why are they you got to imagine they're not going to play Jamar Chase much. They're not going to play like a lot of their stars because why risk an injury going into this offseason? Like if Jamar Chase goes out there and tears his ACL on a meaningless game,
that'd be pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. So got to imagine they're going to bench some guys too. So I'm going to go Browns.
Fair enough. Let's move to Detroit, the Vikings and the Lions. Lions don't have anything to play for really, and the Vikings have a small sliver of a chance to make the playoffs. But for the Lions, Dan Campbell said that the players can rest when the season's over. So I think they're playing. I think they're playing. I think Dan Campbell is absolutely pissed still about the Cowboys loss, and I think he's really trying to come out and completely annihilate the Vikings here. So I'm picking the Lions.
Yeah, and they'd still be playing for seeding potentially. So like if they won and Dallas lost, they'd get a higher seed. So they're still playing for seeding in the playoffs, have home field advantage in that scenario if they ended up playing, say, Dallas. So I'm also going to go Lions in this game.
All right. I might watch that game just to see how mad Dan Campbell is getting it. It's just like, go for it. Go. They're like up by 30 points. Get in the end zone.
He's a crazy man.
He's a wild man. I absolutely love him. Let's move to New England, to Foxborough, the Jets and the Patriots. I put this as the poop game of the week. Who really gives a shit? I'm going to pick the Patriots at home.
Yeah, this is not a good game. What do you even make of this? Like
Belichick wants those wins, so I guess he'll be
Belichick wants the wins. No, I think the Jets are honestly a better team. No, I'm gonna go Jets.
There you go. There's 2 games already.
They seem to bite me in the ass whenever I pick them, similar to the Falcons, but I'm gonna go Jets.
The Jets defense is still good. Zappy has been playing well though, for the Pats, and the Pats D has been playing well. So
Brees Hall solid right now, so there's still Garrett Wilson.
It'll probably be a very defensive, horrible game. So Jets could definitely win it though. So let's move to New Orleans, the Falcons and the Saints. The winner gets in if the Bucs somehow lose. So this is a big game that I don't think is going to matter in the end. And I still don't trust any of the Falcons quarterbacks, so I'm picking the Saints.
I don't know what to do here. Because the Saints definitely could lose. Falcons, for some reason, like to play very well in certain scenarios, but every time I pick them, they lose. So I'll go Saints just because.
Yeah. I mean, I will say we don't know at the moment if Kamara will be playing, so that's kind of big.
That is big. That is pretty big, but Jamal Williams is still a solid running back, I think, back there. Good enough to do something. So Falcons have a decent defense. Saints have a decent defense. Saints defense played very well last week, and they are at home. So I'll pick Saints.
All right. Let's move to Tennessee. The Jaguars at the Titans. This is a huge game. The Jaguars need this win to at least win the division. I think if they lose, there's a very good chance they get knocked out of the playoffs entirely. So Titans, Will Levis probably not playing. Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, I assume they're going to put him in, obviously depending on how he feels, but they need the win, so I assume they're going to be playing Trevor Lawrence. If they don't play him, then it'll be tough, but I'm going to pick the Jaguars without Will Levis for the Titans. So Titans are better at home, though, so you have to see
if Trevor Lawrence plays, I'm picking Jags. If he does not play, I don't have a ton of faith in CJ Beathard. And the Titans, if they embrace the run in a game, they can still win it. But they probably want a high draft pick. I'm going Jags. I do think that Trevor Lawrence is going to play, so I'm going to go Jags in this. But Titans can potentially squeak out a win here, but I'll go Jags.
Do you want a caveat if he doesn't play or no? Because I'm
It's
going
tough to
best.
say because they still beat the Panthers last week pretty handedly, and the Titans are just as bad with a better running back. But so no Will Levis. Tannehill suck. I'm gonna go Jags regardless.
Will they give Malik Willis a shot? Probably not, but
Probably not.
yeah, Jags. Okay. Let's move to the 4 p.m. slate. We got the Seahawks heading to Arizona to face the Cardinals. Seahawks need a win and some help to get into the playoffs. I put this as my any given Sunday game because the Cardinals have been playing pretty solid. They beat the Eagles last week. The Cardinals, they don't have a lot of wins, but their wins are impressive. They beat the Eagles, they beat the Cowboys, and they beat the Steelers already this year. Those are all possible playoff teams. 2 of them are definite playoff teams. So you definitely can't count them out against the Seahawks here at home, Cardinals at home. So I'm still going to take the Seahawks, but this could really be a close game.
It could be a close game, and they played very well last week in Philadelphia, which, regardless of how Eagles are playing right now, is never an easy place to play, especially if you're a 3-win team. So this one's tough. This one's tough. Again, I need some wins, so I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to take the Cards.
How funny would it be if you get the other ones and then the Cardinals one puts you back behind? They could definitely
that'd be pretty funny. I mean, Gino he was making mistakes last week, and the Cardinals were able to kind of get some pressure back there on Hurts on a better offensive line. So they played pretty well last week. Granted, they probably were playing pretty hard for Gannon going against his old team. So I could see a loss here go either way. Seahawks do look good at times, but I don't have a ton of confidence in it.
Yeah. On a side note, could this be, I don't think it will be, but could this be Pete Carroll's last game if they don't make the playoff? Because he's an old man. He's in his 70s, I'm pretty sure.
He's pretty spry, though.
Retirement.
He's pretty spry.
He looks like a young man out there. That's for sure. He's 72 years old. He'll be 73 at the start of next year. So he ain't getting younger.
No.
But yeah, he acts young. That's for sure. He's running around the field all the time. So I don't think he will. Sure. I just wanted to note it just in case. Because I do think we're going to get a 5th head coach opening somewhere. I just don't know. Could it be the Seahawks? It'd be a surprise, but
could be Broncos.
Could it be Broncos? That'd be wild. Will they bring Jim Harbaugh in?
I don't think it's going to happen now, but I did see some ramblings that Sean McVay could be potentially moving on somewhere else. But because they're probably going to make the playoffs, I don't see that happening.
They're locked into the playoffs.
They are? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So because he took them to the playoffs, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think he's back, baby. He had that one year where he was like, I hate all of this, and now he's back. And he was probably just too stressed out last year over everything.
Probably. I mean, they won the Super Bowl a few years back, and once that happens, there's a lot of pressure gets put on you. And he's in LA, got the big lights, so having the rough season last year. I mean, anytime that you're underperforming, you're going to have a lot of stress. So
yeah, for sure. Let's move to Lambeau Field. This is a very important game for the Packers fans. The Bears are heading into Lambeau to face the Packers. Could be a snowy game. I haven't looked at the weather, but it's January, so you never know. That'll make it interesting. But the Bears they're no slouch in the snow. They know how to play in snow. So it would be, I honestly hope it snows. That'd be a fun game. The Packers, if they win, they're winning in, which they want to do. But the Bears, they are in upset mode. And it should be a brutal game that I think could come down to the wire. I think at the end of the game, though, the Packers fans will be chanting Jordan Love's name in Lambeau at the end of the game. So I'm picking the Packers.
Yeah, I think it ultimately comes down, like in week 18, we're going to echo this in a lot of the games. One team's playing for something, the other is not. One team's playing for positioning in the playoffs. The other team is potentially playing for a draft pick. So I think that Eberflus and Fields have done enough to secure Eberflus's job. Fields, maybe not, because they do have the number 1 pick there from the Panthers, but he has secured a job. So I don't foresee him being a backup quarterback at all. If he's moved on from the Bears, they're going to trade him to somebody who's going to instantly make him a starter. So I think both of their jobs being secured, in a sense, that this is just going to be the Packers are playing for their playoff spot, and the Packers are going to get the W.
The Bears would absolutely love to knock the Packers out of the playoffs.
Oh, they for sure would. But I don't know. That doesn't matter.
Also, the Packers are possibly going to be without all of their top receivers game, with Reed getting hurt. Watson's already hurt. I don't even know who the other receivers are. There's another
Romeo
Is he?
Dubs, he's not hurt. Romeo Dubs, he's pretty solid though. Deontay Wicks is pretty solid.
Wicks, he was hurt last week, I believe.
Was he?
He's
A lot of young guys, but they seem to be just be popping one back in when the other's out. So I think one will come right back in. Do you know how extensive the injury for Reed was?
I don't. It was a chest injury though. I'll look it up right now. I think they think he's gonna miss the game though. Jaden Reed, he's questionable. Yeah, they don't know right now. The X-rays were negative on his ribs. He's got like sore ribs, so that makes me feel like he could play if it's just sore ribs.
Right. And I mean, like, if the Packers, so in this scenario, I'm going to say if the Packers are completely depleted at receiver, really just if Jaden Reed doesn't play, if Jaden Reed doesn't play and the Bears are playing their starters, I'm going to take a caveat and say Bears.
Okay. So if like all Packers receivers are out.
Well, yeah, pretty much all of them are out anyway. But if Jaden Reed's out, because he's huge offense, and their offense did struggle a little bit after he left the game last week. So if Jaden Reed's out, and really if the Bears play their start, I'm going to pick the Bears.
I assume they
But
will.
if they don't play their starters and Jaden Reed's still out, or Jaden Reed is out, then the Packers can still win this game.
Yeah, I was close to picking the Bears, I'll be honest. Dontavion Wicks missed last week with a chest and ankle injury. He's definitely questionable as well. But yeah,
it should be like a weird caveat there, two-part caveat. But
just let me know before the game starts what you're picking.
Yeah.
It should be a fun game though. I like that game. This next one also I think actually could be a fun game. The in LA, the Chiefs and the Chargers. I think there is a solid chance the Chiefs are resting their starters, or at least only play them a little. They do. I want Travis Kelce to get his 1,000 yards, so I think he'll be playing for at least a couple plays where they're just going to be throwing the whole time. But I honestly,
he'll give 1,000 yards. He'll go give Taylor a kiss, and it'll be a whole thing.
Stop the whole game.
Yeah. Well, the other day, not football, but the Jazz stopped their game in the middle because they got Jordan Clarkson with 2 minutes left in the game. Got the first triple double for the Jazz in 16 years.
Oh wow!
So they were pretty happy about that. The coach sent him in and said, just go get a rebound so I can put you on the bench. Yeah. They had a big enough lead, and he went, got it. They called the timeout, stopped it, and everyone was just mauling him. They won the Super Bowl. But it's okay, well, whatever. It's just a regular season game.
I mean, I remember when they stopped the Saints. I think it might have been a playoff game actually, but when Drew Brees broke, he had some sort of record he broke.
Yeah.
They stopped the whole game, and he was hugging his kids and shit. And I was like,
I remember that.
I mean, that's
okay.
Cool.
Let's get back to the game.
Yeah, this is kind of important. But yeah, the Chargers, let's get back to this game. The Chargers, Keenan Allen, Josh Palmer, and Joey Bosa all missed last week. This is a not important game. So will any of them be playing? I don't know. I don't know if they care. So I feel like this is kind of hard to pick because neither of these teams will be caring too much about this game.
Yeah, I'm just going to pick the Chiefs. I think they're better coached. So I'm just pick the Chiefs in this game. Like you said, they are going to try and get Travis Kelce the yardage. Travis Kelce is still trying to make his case for the best tight end in Chiefs history and NFL history. So he'll probably still get some usage there. They want to secure a little bit of momentum going into the playoffs still. So the Chargers just fucking suck. There's no way around it. They're a bad team. So I don't see the Chargers doing much of anything. They seem to get lucky to stay in the game when they played the Bills, but I don't think they're doing much this game. I'm going Chiefs.
I'm trying to see who they played last week. Oh, they lost to the Broncos in that
Broncos.
Awful game. I actually have the Chargers written down, but that was before I realized that Travis Kelce is almost at 1,000 yards. So I'm picking the Chiefs. If Travis Kelce's playing for his 1,000 yards, I'm picking the Chiefs against a bad Chargers team. Yeah, I was really picking the Chargers.
I also think they're going to play Rashee Rice because he only needs how many does he have? He only needs 62 yards to get 1,000. So I think they'll play Rashee Rice as well.
I know Pacheco's really close to 1,000 too, and he's 40 or something. So you could see all the starters playing for the first quarter or something, and that right there could be enough to beat the Chargers. So
yeah. Definitely.
All right, let's move to Vegas, the Broncos and the Raiders. All I wrote down for this game was doesn't matter, Raiders at home.
It doesn't matter. And I think with the whole news of Russ, not only that will Russ not be playing, but I think that is going to leave a really sour taste in the Broncos locker room, and Sean Payton may have lost the locker room because of this. And I'm going to pick the Raiders. One
Josh
team where their
might not.
players play for their coach. The other game, the players do not want to play for their coach. So I'm going to pick Raiders in this.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs, he hasn't been playing. I assume they're probably just going to sit him. Cortland Sutton hasn't been playing. Like, why would they play him? He's probably
Yeah.
not going to play. So, yeah. Antonio
They
Pierce.
still have
in
they
that
still have
head
the
coach
best
job.
player on the field in Devontae Adams.
Oh, yeah, true.
So, and I don't know how much he'll play, but I mean, he's got a lot of receiving yards. He's probably looking at some numbers there. So, means over 1,000 yards this year. But
All right, Raiders at home. Let's go Raiders. Last home game for Vegas. Sad. Let's go to the real game of the week in MetLife Stadium. The Eagles and the Giants are facing off. This could be the last time. I told you about this. This could be the last time I wear a Saquon Barkley jersey with Saquon Barkley actually on the Giants, and that makes me
honestly, I hope that he leaves because I have him in Dynasty and I would love for him to be on a good team.
The only team I will accept them moving him to would be the Bills because I kind of like the Bills. But I don't
I've
see
seen some potential. James Cook came on really well at the end of the year here, and I have seen some options for Barkley if he decided to leave. The Ravens were one. The Chargers were one.
OBJ?
Chargers are one because they'd likely move on from Eckler. And I saw the Eagles as well.
And who?
The Eagles.
My God! Every time there's a free agent, somehow you see the Eagles connected to him.
Hey, yeah, I've seen it. He grew up an Eagles fan. So he grew up an Eagles fan. He went to Penn State. Huh?
Why would you even say that?
Ruin your party. Yeah, he grew up an Eagles fan. Went to Penn State. They'll have an opening at running back because Swift is going to be a free agent. So they either re-sign Swift or they sign Barkley. But they haven't been known to give paydays to running backs. So I doubt that they would. I could see the Ravens though. That'd be pretty fun.
The Ravens would be cool. I'll say the Bills or the Ravens because he'd be cool with Lamar and if OBJ's still there. But you've ruined this entire talking point for me. So let's just talk about the game. The Eagles and Giants. Devontae Smith, mild ankle sprain. He might not play. I imagine they'll sit him if he has a sprain.
I think they will.
The Giants, though. Honestly, I shouldn't have picked the Giants in the last game. I should have waited for this one, the home game at the end of the season to pick the Giants. The Giants could pull it off. They've been playing well lately, and the Eagles have been playing poorly lately. It is still a bad matchup for the Giants, and I still don't want Fred to catch. No fucking shot. Like, I can't do it. I cannot do it. I'm picking the Giants. I can't do it. I'm picking the Giants. If they win, I love it. If they lose, I don't fucking care. I'm picking the Giants.
Well, I'm obviously picking the Eagles. I mean, I'm wearing the Eagles shirt right now. So I'm picking Philly. I think they're going to go in and they're going to try and get some offensive momentum and defensive momentum going to the playoffs. I don't think they might bench some starters, being like Devontae Smith. They might bench a few of their older players. You might see like Fletcher Cox being benched, Brandon Graham, but I think that they're probably going to bench Bradbury. I think they'll start Ricks and Job. So I think they'll start those guys, but he does, but he's been absolute trash this year. So I'm going Eagles. They still can potentially take the division, so they're still going to be playing for that. And then they also just want to have a little bit more momentum going to the playoffs than what the Cardinals game left them.
I am 100% going with the Giants now. Actually, just thinking about it, like if this is Saquon's last game in a Giants uniform, he is going to go absolutely off against the Eagles. I don't care what their defense looks like. He's going to go. He's running for over 100 yards. I bet this is Sterling Shepard's last game with the Giants. He hasn't done much this year, but I bet he's going to get a couple big catches in this one. Tyrod Taylor can sling the ball. He's going to be picking on your corners. So I don't care, man. The Giants are going to win this. I don't care. They're going to win it.
All right, if you say so. I think AJ Brown's going to have a good game because he did not have a good one last game, and he really wanted the ball. So he was a little pissed off after last game. So I think AJ Brown will be calling for the ball a lot.
The Giants are going to be screwing themselves out of getting Caleb Williams or Drake May with this win right here. So basically, you should want the Giants to win.
A wild card team that I think Barkley could potentially look at is the Packers.
Yeah, is
Aaron Jones' contract is up in 2024, so they could potentially look at him. He's getting old. He's injury prone. I mean, Barkley's also injury prone, but he would fit with the offense in terms of what they're looking for there. And I think I think it'd be a good fit there in Green Bay.
As long as it's not the Cowboys or the Patriots, or the Eagles, or the Commanders. I don't like, even though they're bad, I don't want to ever see Anders jersey.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move to San Francisco, the Rams and the 49ers. This was another difficult one to try to pick because we don't know who's going to be even playing this. McCaffrey's not going to be, which makes it difficult for the 49ers. But the 49ers could be resting. I think they said that they're going to be resting all of their starters that have injury designation. And they're not sure.
Isn't that a lot?
I think so. So I don't know who they're actually going to be playing. Like Shanahan was asked if Brock Purdy was going to be starting or resting, and he said he's not sure. So I don't know who's going to be playing for the Niners. And even with the Rams, I don't know. They could be resting players because they're locked into the playoffs already. But I will say they're definitely going to want Puka Nacua to break the record. So he should be playing, I would assume. And I assume they're going to have Stafford sling it to him to break the record. I didn't write down how far away he is from it, but I don't think he's very far.
Very close. I just had it pulled up.
So, I mean, this is kind of like the Chiefs game to me, where they're going to be trying to get the record. With the Rams trying to get the record, I'm actually going to pick the Rams over the 49ers.
You know what? I was going to pick the Rams regardless. So I'm picking the Rams. I think they're coming to this game just hot. And that offense is pretty scary. But like I said, they want to get Puka the record. So he's only 10 yards from Jamar Chase, but the record is Bill Groman from 1960. And he had 1473, and Puka has 1445. So he's about 30 yards away.
Oh, he could definitely get that. Yeah. Puka's going to have a big game. Watch him. Yeah. If anyone is still in the playoffs for some reason, play Puka if you got. I mean, you were going to anyway, but.
Yeah, we got another game, right? We're moving on.
Yeah, dude. I thought you were still looking something up.
I'm just looking up stuff passively. I wanted to see if there was anything for like Kyron Williams in terms of rushing yardage. I know he's over 1,000 yards, but he's nowhere even close to the rookie yards leaders. So, I mean, Eric Dickerson has the record with 1,800 rookie rushing yards. So,
yeah. All right. Well, let's move to the Capitol. The Cowboys are heading in to face the Commanders, and the Cowboys can clinch the division by obliterating the Commanders, which I think they're going to do with or without Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I think they'll likely destroy the Commanders. I want to see the Commanders win, but I'm not going to pick the Commanders in this game. I'm not that stupid. So the Cowboys, they may rest starters, who knows, but they probably won't. They really want to cement themselves as the division leader. But I mean, the Commanders did hold really close to the Niners last week, and the Cowboys do play like dick on the road. So anything could happen.
Anything could happen. Maybe that should be our any given Sunday game.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, let's move to what I put as our tentative game of the week. I don't know if it's going to be Sunday Night Football. We got the Bills at the Dolphins. And this one is for all the marbles, baby, for the Bills especially. The winner of this game takes the division, gets the number 2 seed in the AFC. The loser either gets the number 6 seed or is out of the playoffs altogether in the Bills' case. So the Dolphins, Jalen Waddle, will he play? Mostert, will he play? They lost Bradley Chubb to the ACL. The Bills are pretty healthy, but they're coming off a piss poor performance against a bad team last week in the Patriots, I believe, right? Yeah. So this is a massive game. And listen, the Bills, like I said, they played like shit, but the Dolphins are beat up and the Bills need this win. So for those reasons, I think the Finns could pull it off, but I'm going to take the Bills to get into the playoff.
I'm also going with the Bills. This is one team that you and I can't agree on. We both have an affection for the Bills. We like the Bills as like our second team. So I'm going for the Bills in this game. And like I said before, Josh Allen plays up and he plays down to his competition. The Dolphins are considered a good team. He is going to play up to this game. And I think he's going to have a phenomenal game, 300 plus yards, and the Bills are going to come away with a win.
All right. So yeah, we're on the same page. This is our game of the week, but it's not our official game of the week. I feel like we should change that. I don't want to pick any of the games we picked against each other.
No. Yeah. Those games aren't good. I don't feel comfortable having Seahawks Cardinals as game of the week, or Jets Patriots, or Browns Bengals. Those are not games of the week. I mean, we could do Eagles Giants, but our teams.
Actually, yeah. Let's make Eagles Giants game of the week, baby. Let's do it. That could be the
one more note for the Cowboys. as we've noticed this year, that I think the Cowboys Commanders is any given Sunday because the Cowboys suck on two places. They suck on grass and they suck on the road. And FedEx offers both of those. So I think that's the any given Sunday. Eagles Giants game of the week. Let's go.
I like it. Let's write it up, baby. So we both got the Billy. That's the last game of the week. We will know who all the playoff teams are by Sunday night, but we do have a Monday night football. It's just not NFL. We got Washington versus Michigan on Monday night football, baby. College football playoffs, the game of the year that everyone wanted to see, except for crybaby Bama fans. Listen, this should be a really good game. Michigan's got a great defense and a decent offense. Washington's got a great offense and a decent defense. Who's going to win, offense or defense? I mean, people want to say defense wins championships, but reality wants to tell you that offense does, right?
Yeah, it's definitely tough because I mean, watching Penix Jr. last week and how he was dicing up the Texas defense. The Texans have a decent pass defense. They have a decent defense in general. And he was dicing it up on them. He was putting things on a dime. He was making passes over the shoulder to his receivers when they were completely covered. So unless it's going to come down to pressure. If you can get pressure on them, they can win it. Michigan does generate pressure at a huge clip, but he does have an extremely quick release. So it's going to be tough. It can go either way. It should be very fun. Truly just an offensive versus defense game. It should be a great showing.
Yeah. Who do you think's going to win then? Who are you picking, man? Let's pick.
Who am I picking? That's tough. You know what? I'm going to go Washington.
I thought you would. I have a proposition for you, sir. If we somehow end up tied after all of the NFL games, I think this game should be our tiebreaker because I'm going to go with Michigan.
All right. That works for me.
This is Jim Harbaugh's possible. I think it's going to be his last game as the Michigan head coach. And I think they're going to go out with a bang. He's coaching, right? He's coaching?
Yeah, he's coaching.
Yeah. I think they're going to go out with a bang here. Harbaugh is going to leave for the NFL. I think if Michigan wins, J.J. McCarthy will also be leaving for the NFL. He could be leaving if they win or not. This is
that offense for Washington. It's got multiple first round picks, multiple first round talents. So I mean, it's got a Dunzy. It's got Penix Jr. Who's the other receiver there for them? I think Polk is like a second round pick, maybe a first rounder. He's very good. So they have a lot of talent there. Their running back, I know, got hurt last week, but I don't know how their backup is.
Yeah, it should be a good ass game, and it's a great tiebreaker. So yeah, I think I'll actually be watching this game too at work, but still,
it'll be fun. Should be a good game. I wish it was Texas playing, but it is what it is. They outperformed what I thought they would do this year anyway. So I'm pretty happy with how the year turned out.
I'm just ecstatic that Bama and Georgia are not in it.
There you go. I'm happy about that too. And Oklahoma and Ohio State.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I'll add Texas to that for me.
Yeah. I obviously will not pick Texas in that. Oh, but I will add USC. I'm glad USC is not in it.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But anyway,
fuck them.
That is a wrap. That's a wrap on another episode. Once again, the best way to support our show is to leave a rating or review on all platforms you listen on, and of course by liking the show. Make sure you subscribe to the Flea Flicker Show on YouTube. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcast, and follow us on social media at Flea Flicker Show. Thank you once again, Flea Flicker Nation, for the last game of the regular season. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.
Peace, guys.